Bradley Walsh has long been celebrated as one of Britain's most beloved entertainers. The cheeky chappie from Hertfordshire, who went from professional footballer to comedian, actor, and game show king. And alongside him, for more than 3 decades, has been his elegant and devoted wife, Donna Derby. A woman whose quiet strength and grace have been the backbone of his extraordinary journey. Together, they have been considered one of television's golden couples. Bradley with his irresistible charm and sense of humor, and Donna, the former dancer and choreographer who once lit up the stage and screen, seemed to represent stability and loyalty in an industry infamous for broken marriages. But now, whispers of betrayal have pierced that polished image. Behind the public smiles and red carpet appearances, Donna's recent claims suggest that their marriage has been under immense strain. And for a woman who has always remained dignified and private, the phrase, "he betrayed me," has sent shockwaves across fans and the media alike. But what really lies behind those words? To understand the weight of Donna's words, we must go back to the beginning. Bradley first met Donna Derby in the late 1890s, at a time when his career was still finding its direction. He had walked away from football after injuries ended his promising career at Brentford, and he was carving a name for himself in stand-up and light entertainment. Donna, meanwhile, was already a star in her own right, an accomplished dancer and actress who had appeared in music videos, on television, and on stage. Their worlds collided, and what followed was not the fleeting romance of show business, but a deep and lasting bond. In Donna, Bradley found stability, intelligence, and a woman who could match his humor with her own wit. In Bradley, Donna saw a man with drive, vulnerability, and an endless devotion to family. For more than 30 years, they have been partners, not only in marriage, but in navigating the ever-shifting tides of fame. And yet, even the strongest foundations can face cracks. To the public, Bradley Walsh is the nation's cheeky uncle, the man who makes us laugh on the chase, who can charm an audience in seconds, and who tears up at heartfelt stories without embarrassment. He is adored because he feels real. But behind the cameras, Bradley is also a man of immense pressure. Hosting multiple shows, juggling acting roles, and managing an exhausting filming schedule means he spends months away from home. Donna has often been the anchor who kept his private life intact while he entertained millions. Insiders say this imbalance has been both a blessing and a strain. While Bradley's career flourished, Donna's role became more private, more domestic, and more focused on supporting their son Barney and Bradley's ever-growing commitments. For decades, this worked. Until now. When Donna Derby reportedly told close friends that Bradley had betrayed her, the statement raised immediate questions. Did she mean betrayal in the traditional sense, romantic infidelity? Or was this a deeper, more emotional fracture? Promises made, trust broken, priorities abandoned. Some sources close to the family suggest that Donna's frustration lies not in scandalous affairs, but in Bradley's inability to step back from the relentless pace of fame. He has, she allegedly feels, broken promises to slow down, to put family first, to cherish the private world they built away from the cameras. For Donna, a woman who has sacrificed much of her own career for Bradley's success, the betrayal may be less about another person and more about neglect, disappointment, and an imbalance that has left her questioning his loyalty, not just as a husband, but as a partner in life. One of the greatest challenges in their marriage has always been the contrast between Donna's preference for a quieter, private life and Bradley's constant immersion in the glare of show business. Bradley thrives on performance, the crowds, the cameras, the adrenaline of live entertainment. Donna, while once a performer herself, has found peace in retreating from that spotlight, focusing on home and family. But when those worlds collide, friction emerges. Friends have noticed Donna attending fewer of Bradley's events. Photographs show her walking alone, while Bradley is captured surrounded by friends and colleagues in studios and after-parties. The betrayal, therefore, might not be one grand scandal, but rather a slow erosion of connection. A husband pulled ever more deeply into the world of television, while his wife watches from the sidelines, feeling abandoned. Despite the whispers, Bradley and Donna continue to maintain a public image of unity. They appear at charity events, they attend family gatherings, and Bradley still speaks fondly of his wife in interviews. But insiders insist that the warmth of those words is no longer reflected behind closed doors. Donna, who has always valued privacy, has reportedly confided to friends that she feels increasingly isolated. Bradley's schedule, his commitments, and his unwillingness to scale back have left her wondering if the man she married 30 years ago is still the same man today. For her to voice betrayal so publicly, even indirectly, is a sign that the cracks have grown too wide to ignore. What about Bradley himself? So far, he has not directly addressed Donna's claims. Friends describe him as shaken, even devastated by her words, but unwilling to discuss marital struggles in public. For a man who thrives on humor and lightness, the weight of this allegation is not something he seems ready to confront. And yet, silence can sometimes speak louder than denial. Fans are already divided. Some insist that Bradley, who has built a career on authenticity, would never betray his wife. Others argue that Donna's reputation for dignity and composure means she would never use such strong words lightly. This brings us to the question on everyone's mind. Where does this leave Bradley Walsh and Donna Derby? Divorce rumors are already swirling. Experts in celebrity relationships warn that when a partner uses the word betrayal, it often signals a breaking point. Some couples recover through counseling and compromise. Others quietly separate. But whatever happens, the marriage will never again be seen in the same light. If Donna chooses to step away, it would not just be the end of one of Britain's most admired unions. It would also humanize Bradley in a way fans have never seen before. The man who always brings laughter would suddenly be living through heartbreak. For Bradley, this is not just about his marriage, it's about his legacy. He has spent decades building a career as one of television's most trustworthy faces. A split with Donna, especially under the cloud of betrayal, would tarnish that image, no matter how beloved he remains. And for Donna, it could mean stepping out of the shadows after 30 years, reclaiming her own narrative, and reminding the public that she is not just the supportive wife of a star, but a woman of strength in her own right. So is this truly the end for Bradley Walsh and Donna Derby? Or will this moment of fracture force Bradley to step back, to rediscover the values that first made their bond so unshakable? The truth remains shrouded in speculation, but one thing is certain. When a marriage built on decades of loyalty begins to crack, the world watches closely. Not just because it involves celebrities, but because it reflects the struggles we all face in love, loyalty, and the difficult balancing act of family and ambition. Donna's words, "He betrayed me," echo far beyond one household. They speak to the universal fear of promises broken, of being left behind by the person you trusted most. For Bradley and Donna, the road ahead will not be easy. But whether they reconcile or part ways, their story is no longer just theirs. It has become part of a national conversation about what it truly means to stand by someone, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. So we wait. Will Bradley Walsh fight to repair the damage? Or has Donna Derby already decided the path forward? Only time will tell. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on this unfolding story and more. Because sometimes, even behind the brightest smiles, lie the darkest struggles.